Let's talk about your annual physical. You march into the clinic, hand over a vial of blood, and a week later your doctor calls to say your total cholesterol looks a bit high and calls in a prescription for a statin. Congratulations, you've just participated in the medical industrial complex's favorite ritual. It's a beautifully designed profit engine. Treat a single proxy marker that doesn't actually predict all-cause mortality, ignore the underlying cellular wildfire, and create a lifelong pharmaceutical customer. Conventional medicine loves simple, lazy metrics because they fit neatly onto an insurance billing form. But if you want to know how long you're actually going to live, you need to look at the blood biomarkers that measure real systemic biological decay. To predict lifespan and health span, we have to look at the body as a complex, adaptive ecosystem rather than a collection of symptoms waiting for a drug. True progressive medicine evaluates longevity through the lens of the 5Ms framework. These 5 cellular pillars, microvascular, mitochondrial, metabolic balance, metabolic reserve, and membrane health, dictate whether your tissues are thriving or slowly rotting from the inside out. By measuring the specific cutting-edge blood biomarkers attached to these pillars, we can identify the root causes of aging years before they manifest as a disease that a hospital can bill you for. Your local cardiologist loves to look at the massive coronary arteries, usually after they're already 70% clogged and require an expensive stent. But true aging begins in the microvasculature, the microscopic capillaries responsible for feeding your brain and organs. To see if your microcirculation is failing, you can track asymmetric dimethylarginine, ADMA, and homocysteine. High levels of these markers act like microscopic sandpaper, stripping your blood vessels of nitric oxide and causing endothelial dysfunction. If your homocysteine is in the conventional normal range of 12, you're actively damaging your brain's plumbing. A progressive target is below 7, optimized through methylated B vitamins and targeted amino acids. Even better than these tests, there is now a way to directly assess your microvascular system. It is a specialized microscope camera that is held in place at the base of your tongue. Amazingly, it lets you watch your capillaries on the screen where you can see red blood cells moving through them. It takes over 1,000 pictures and performs around 1 million calculations to provide a microvascular health score. The test is called the glycocheck. Aging is, at its core, an energy crisis. When your mitochondria fail, your cells run out of juice, and the body starts to degrade. While you can't easily draw a syringe of pure mitochondrial energy, we can measure the collateral damage of sputtering cellular engines through fasting uric acid and lactate to pyruvate ratios. Uric acid isn't just a marker for gout. It is a direct reflection of cellular ATP depletion and mitochondrial oxidative stress. The medical establishment won't blink if your uric acid is a 7, but if you want your cellular engines running cleanly into your 90s, you want that number below 5. The latest and greatest test panel of mitochondria health and function is called the Aristotle test. We can order this if desired. It is $500. This is where the medical complex commits its most egregious crimes. They check your fasting glucose, tell you it's 99, and say you're fine. Meanwhile, your pancreas is working overtime like a rented mule, pumping out massive amounts of insulin to keep that glucose down. The marker you actually need to measure is fasting insulin, alongside a polypoprotein B, ApoB, and high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP. Fasting insulin is the ultimate early warning system for metabolic chaos. If it is above 5, you are already on the road to insulin resistance and accelerated cellular aging, regardless of what your standard glucose or total cholesterol says. We also recommend a full hormone lab panel to help assess metabolic balance. Balance is how you look when everything is going perfectly. Reserve is your physiological savings account for when life throws a wrench in the gears. Your primary blood marker for metabolic reserve is insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, balanced against cystatin C for kidney reserve alongside your serum albumin. Albumin isn't just a random protein, it's a massive indicator of nutritional status, liver reserve, and antioxidant capacity. The conventional model waits for albumin to drop into liver failure territory before acting, but a progressive longevity strategy views a subtle downward trend in albumin as a sign that your body is losing its structural buffer and its capacity to handle systemic stress. A proper body composition analysis does an excellent job of assessing one's metabolic reserve. You can have perfect metabolism and pristine blood vessels, but if the outer shell of your cells is compromised, you are dead in the water. Your cell membranes are made of lipids, and if they are stiff or rancid, nutrients cannot enter and metabolic waste cannot leave. We measure this using an omega-3 index and the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio via red blood cell fatty acid analysis. The modern diet, heavily pushed by industrial agriculture and processed food monopolies, floods your body with inflammatory seed oils that ruin membrane fluidity. If your omega-3 index is below 8%, your cell membranes are brittle, your receptors are blind to hormonal signals, and your biological clock is ticking twice as fast as it needs to. If you'd like guidance and coaching to optimize your 5Ms, overall health, and health span, reach out to us to schedule a consultation. Telehealth available. We use nutrition, peptides, hormones, exercise, and a variety of progressive therapies to help you lower your biological age. Call 9418-065511 or email us at info@RTC.health.